So, let me ask you something. Why is diamond worth more than water when water is the one keeping you alive? That contradiction right there, that is the first lesson about value. And by the end of this, that question is going to make complete sense to you. Stay with me. Welcome to Ivy's Mindset, where we study money, the systems built around it, and what it means to you. Today, we are starting at the very beginning. Before money, before markets, before economies, we are talking about value, what it is, how it works, and why understanding changes the way you see everything. So, what is value? Simply put, value is the importance a person or a group of people attach to something. Not what it costs, not what it looks like, not what it weighs, just how much it matters to someone or a group of people. That's the whole definition. And as simple as that sounds, almost everything in finance and economics circulates around it. So here's the first thing you need to understand about value. Value is not fixed. It's not absolute. It is perceived. If value is perception, how do you actually create it? It's only logical to ask that question. And here are 5 ways you can create value. First, labor. You put time, energy, and effort into something. A tailor who spends hours crafting a suit is adding value through work. Second, ideas. A solution to a problem is enormously valuable. The person who figures out how to do something faster, cheaper, or better creates value from nothing but thoughts. Third is your resources. Some things are valuable simply because they exist and are scarce. Land, oil, clean water in certain regions are valuable because of how scarce they are. Fourth is your skills and your knowledge. The more specialized your expertise, the more value you command. Fifth, innovation. Taking something that already exists and making it significantly better, that gap between the old version and the new version, that is value created. Every business, every career, every economy is built on at least one of these 5 things. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Not every value is the same kind. Oh my God. There are 4 types of value you need to know. The first now is functional value. It solves a problem. Basically, that's what functional value means. A phone lets you communicate. A car moves you from place to place. And then there is emotional value. It makes you feel something. A song that moves you, a perfume that makes you feel confident. People pay heavily for feelings. There is also social value. It signals something about who you are, a luxury bag, a university degree. These are things that communicate status and belonging to the world around you. And finally, we have the economic value. Someone is willing to pay money for whatever you're offering or bringing to the table. Typically, that is the pure definition of what economic value is. The most powerful products, services, economies, they hit multiple types of these values at once. That is why certain brands or certain economies dominate in the financial markets. Now, this is one of the most important distinctions in financial knowledge. Price and value, they are not the same. Price is what something costs. Value, on the other hand, is actually worth to a specific person at a specific time. Take, for instance, imagine you've been stranded under hot Nigerian sun for 6 hours. How do you think you would feel if I brought one bottle of cold, chilled water to you? It's obviously going to be different than when you had the chance and the luxury of time and well-being to just go and buy water by yourself, you understand? So typically, this is basically the perception of value in play. Now, this is where the thing is funny. The perception now is what changed, but the price didn't. The value just exploded. This is why great investors look for assets where the price is lower than the actual value. They are not just looking at costs. They understand that gap between price and value, and that is why they are wealthy. And I promise you, that is where the real financial intelligence lies. Building on that, value is deeply personal. The same thing has completely different value to different people. Take, for instance, now, if everybody valued everything equally, then trade will barely happen. A loaf of bread means nothing to a billionaire, but it means the whole world to someone who hasn't eaten in days. It's the same bread, but completely different value. That's exactly why markets exist. This is why understanding your audience, your market, your customers is very crucial when you are engaging in business, because you are not the one that is deciding what's important or what's valuable. Your customers are the ones that are going to decide. Here's one truth that should make you think about your future. Value is not permanent. Oh my God. Value is not permanent. Skills that were incredibly valuable 50 years ago are now nearly worthless. On the flip side, now things that had no value back then is what's trending. Now, people are paying attention and people are paying money to data. They are paying money for social media presence and personal branding. These things didn't mean anything back then. But now that's the ball game that we are playing right here. The question you should be asking is not what is valuable today, but what is becoming more valuable and what's going to become valuable tomorrow. The people who position themselves in the front of rising value are the ones who build real wealth. Bring everything together. A business exists to deliver value. Every career is a transaction of value. Every investment is a bet on future value. Every economy is a network of value exchange. Money now is not just the starting point, value is. So before you ask how to make money, ask, what am I creating that people genuinely need, want, or are ready to pay for? What problem am I solving? What feeling am I creating? Chase value creation first. Money is simply what follows when you get that question right. I want to leave you with this. Before you chase money, chase the understanding of value. Because value doesn't go to the most hardworking people. It doesn't go to the most educated either. But it goes to those who are creating, delivering, and controlling things that people genuinely value. That's the game. You know the rules. Now learn how to play. Now you understand value. Now the next real question is obvious. How do human beings organize value? How do they protect it? How do they move it from place to place? And how do they grow it? That is exactly where systems come in. And that's what we're going to be talking about in our next video. So I hope to see you there.